All right, here I am. I actually was playing a video and didn't even know that I was not playing it live, but that's all right. I'll do it another time. I was playing this video here, and it's called Native American Wisdom. And I played it because just recently I believe that I'm going to start referring to myself as a Native American. A Native American, because the spirit that they are under, I find I'm in 100% agreement with. Maybe not with everything. I mean, there were some of the Native chiefs that were, they subscribed to war, and I don't subscribe to that. I don't know if they knew about the OAHSPE Bible, the OAHSPE Bible, so I have to forgive them for that. But for the most part, the natives, the spirit of the natives, I find that I'm exactly in agreement. I am in agreement with the Native Americans, man. I mean, I have to thank the OAHSPE Bible for educating me on who these people really were. I know I'm going to learn more about them, the natives, and I consider myself a Native American. And again, because I did a little reading this weekend, last couple of days, I looked at some of the quotes and things that they have said and things that they have done and their way of life. And I realized that, you know what? I'm a native. I'm a Native American in spirit. I'm a Native American. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some of the video where you can see the quotes, but you can't hear the voice. So I'm going to go on for a little bit. And so if you want, you can check out some of the things that they have said, the spirit that they were under. And I shared something in my room where it really got me, it really lit a little spark in me as to the natives. They're not Indians, because Indians mean savage. So I never, even before I quote unquote began to be awakened, I realized that I stopped calling them that. And but I'm going to share some things from their writings that I thought was pretty interesting, and the spirit that they were under, and how the OAHSPE, it talks about them a little bit. I'm not going to go into the OAHSPE, what it says about the natives. Matter of fact, I think that's what Cosmin Cal, his videos are really good at, sharing about the natives and who they were, and in accordance to the OAHSPE Bible. So I'm tickled to death to know that these people, that they were under the same spirit that I was under. I mean, I just love some of the things that they say here. If you can, I hope you can see the screen okay. But again, my name is JEHOVIH Israel. Welcome to my channel. It's a channel for brethren who are known as faithists, according to the new revelation from the Creator called the OAHSPE Bible. And so welcome to this channel. I do admit that this is not a channel for everybody. And I say that because when if you are exposed to the OAHSPE, the OAHSPE Bible, you're going to see that we're in a time that is absolutely no joke whatsoever, because what the Creator is doing, trying to get an incense lit here, it's going out. It smells terrific. It's something called mantra. It's got kind of a musky smell to it, but it smells real good. And I like to light incense to make it seem that I'm more spiritual than what I really am. You see all the spiritual people and lighting incense all the time. So whether it adds something to the video or not, I don't know. I hope it does. It makes your place smell good, that's for sure. But so anyway, again, welcome to my channel. I was talking about hey Dave, brother. Yeah, you right, man. You right. I consider myself a Native American. A Native American as of a couple of days ago, brother. I consider myself a Native American. I do. Reading some of the quotes of Black Elk and Black Hawk and Red Cloud and Geronimo and Lame Deer. These were Native chiefs, and I read some of their quotes, man, and I said, man, this is me just through and through, you know. And so I'm pretty glad that the Creator He showed me that, and I was actually I was playing this video for about 10 minutes. Didn't even realize I wasn't even live. So I'm back to my old forgetful ways. But anyway, I wanted to do something also. Sister, I don't know if you're listening, the one that I asked to join in, or you may come in later. And I want to address you on the video. I asked you if you would check in with me so I could talk to you, because we've been friends for a long time. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about Jesus Christ. And I know that when we first met, that I was a worshiper of Jesus Christ. And we've been knowing each other for, I'd say, probably a couple of years, wouldn't you say? I don't know if you're listening, but hopefully you'll hear the video. I ask you to come and listen in, because I want to let you know that the dangers. I wanted to speak with you about the dangers of Jesus Christ, and I don't know if you've been paying attention to the things that I've been sharing in my room. Now I'm going to make a long story short, because I talk about it all the time. But sister, if you're listening, I just want to tell you in brief that Jesus Christ of the New Testament is, well, the Bible overall. The Bible overall is not the Creator's word. The Bible overall is not the Creator's word. Now, I'm just being blunt, because for the sake of time, my message to you is that the Bible overall, the Bible, the Creator who creates gods, the Bible, he does not subscribe to he does not claim the Bible as his word. The Creator does not claim, and to anyone else who may see this video by chance and first time here, this is a channel where ever since I've been doing videos, I don't do them for nothing. I feel like there's something that the Creator, or, even when I was a Christian way back, I don't do videos to run my mouth. And I know it may seem like it, but I don't believe in wasting time. I believe I've always been spiritual. I believe I've been led down the primrose path, and, crooked and, narrow roads and ups and downs. But I believe all that time the Creator's made me a spiritual man. And I realize that anything worth having or going for is not going to be easy. Hi, Mahalia, sister. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in, Mahalia. So I don't do videos. I've never done any. I've always looked for what I'm supposed to be about. I've always looked for what I'm supposed to be about. You brethren coming in, I'm playing a video of the it's called Native American Wisdom, because I have been looking at them the last couple of days, and I come to the conclusion that I'm a Native American. I am definitely a Native American in spirit. I mean, just look, I was reading some famous Indian natives, or not Indians. I don't like to call them Indians. That word means savages. I was looking at some native philosophy and quotes and, reading from different tribal chiefs and the things they said. And I said, man, I'm a Native American in spirit. Hey, Elijah. All right, brother. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. So I said to myself, I just came to the realization. I said, man, I'm a Native American in spirit. I am a Native Guatamian. I'm a Native Guatamian. Look at what it says on the screen here real quick. It says it should be Native, not Indian. Indian, it means savages. It says being Native is an attitude, a state of mind, a way of being in harmony with all things and all beings. It is allowing the heart to be the distributor of energy on this planet, to allow feelings and sensitivities to determine where energy goes, bringing aliveness up from the earth and from the sky. See, the OAHSPE right there, putting it in and giving it out from the heart. Now, there's a spirituality to that, I think that they're going to revisit. They're going to the natives that the Creator is going to what's a good word for expose? I think that native philosophy is going to experience a rebirth, because the spirit that they were under, the way they talk about the earth, the way they talk. Wait till I show you this poem that I found online. Just, looking around, and I found something and I want to share it with you. And it's really a beautiful thing. And it seems to talk about a faithless communities. Let me get back. I'm currently right now sharing with a sister that I asked her to check in. I don't know if she's here, and I wanted to talk to her. I've known her for a little while. She's in my room, and I think that the time has come for me to just flat out tell her that I don't worship the God of the New Testament anymore, and Jesus Christ. And I don't know if the sister has been paying attention to the things that I've been posting in the room that should show that I've had a change of heart, a change of mind, and enlightening. And I asked her to come in so that I could talk to her and explain where I'm coming from. So I'm gonna keep running this video. If you see something you like, you can stop it and look and read it. So, sister, basically, just to make a long story short, I find Jesus Christ to be, I don't even know if he even exists. I don't believe, as of this moment, I don't believe Jesus Christ ever existed of the New Testament. I believe there were a couple of them. I know that the OAHSPE Bible speaks of Zarathustra, and I think it speaks of Yeshu, or in other words, I think there were 2 or 3 Jesus Christ, and I think that the one of the New Testament is a narrative. Okay, so I wanted to tell you I wanted to talk to you and tell you that the reason why I feel this way, to make a long story short, is that Christians will go into captivity. To put it plain and simply, Christians, people who subscribe to Jesus Christ, will go into captivity. I know that we live in a reality where there are fallen gods who have rebelled against the Creator, and they have been given the earth and the glories of them, as it says in Matthew chapter 4, the account of Satan and quote unquote Jesus Christ. I believe they have power to capture the souls of men, and they do it through religion. And it's worked marvelously up until now. But the faithists, for some reason, for one reason or another, they have not been able to stick to religion. It's always been problematic to them one way or another. So, sister, I'm telling you that I do not worship the Jesus Christ of the Bible and the Old and the New Testament. I do not worship that God anymore. Now, I know that you post things in my room. I asked you today what was the God of the book that you were sharing in the room, and I hadn't heard back from you. And so That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you in the room on mic, and I was hoping that I might be able to get you to come on in the room and let's talk. And I don't want to sound harsh, or I am willing to show you why I believe what I believe according to the OAHSPE Bible. And it's really not something that I can convince anybody of the way I believe. Now, I can't really, I don't, I don't even think I try. Well, no, I think I do try to explain myself what the Creator is doing according to my best understanding, and then just let the chips fall where they may. I realize that brethren who the Creator calls his children, they are unique, they're special, and that they have a ability, they have an ability to attain to the Creator's voice. And right now in this day and age, that don't have no value. People don't care about that, hearing and attaining to the Creator's voice. But people will value being able to attain to the Creator's voice. Of that, I am absolutely thoroughly sure of, without a shadow of a doubt. So again, sister, if you're in the room, if you hear this video, I want to let you know that you're in great danger if you subscribe to the God of Judaism, which really is Baal, and the God of the Bible. I never imagined I'd be saying stuff like this, but again, sister, I wanted you to come on just so I could tell you that you're in great danger. If you pray to the Jesus Christ of the Bible, if you pray to the God of the Bible, to put it very simply, put it very bluntly, you are in great danger, grave danger. And so I hope that you hear my words and just consider what I say, and that's the best I can do for that. So if you see this video, if you want, you can talk to me. You can come on the channel. We can talk together, and we can talk amongst ourselves and brethren that see the video. So if you have any more questions, just chat with me, send me a direct message, and we can speak more on the subject. So again, brethren, that was me sharing with a sister that I asked to come on so I think that I have to talk to her about the God that I think that she worships. And I don't think I think I assumed that she knew that I had made a break, but I couldn't be sure. So I'm just telling her, I'm taking the opportunity to, matter of fact, let me see, she just sent me a message. Let me respond to her. Bear with me, brother. If you get a chance, I am live on my channel. So come in, and if you want, we can talk to one another. I just got finished addressing you, and I don't know if you'll be able to come on. But if you do, come on and let me know so I can talk to you more. Okay, so wow, these phones are funny, man. They just have a mind of their own. So anyway, brethren, again, thanks for joining me. Oh, she got right back with me. Okay. All right. So, brethren, again, thanks for joining me. That was a video about famous Native American quotes. And man, I'm telling you, the natives, man, I just, I don't know what I do know what it is that led me to look at them, I think I read a quote, it caught my eye, man, and then, a breadcrumb, right to the sayings and the quotes and a little bit of, beliefs of the natives. And, I got sucked in, and I ended up thinking, I ended up saying, man, I'm a native. I'm under the spirit of the natives, and you, brethren, most likely probably are too. You know, the Creator, he speaks very respectfully of these people, you know. So here's my mom's food ministry where I can be contacted if I ever find out that I can take part in ministering to an orphan, elderly, or disabled. I will certainly do it, man. I'll do it. Here's my contact information where you can contact me, and this is the name of our group. This is the name of the Faithists, or where Faithists can come together and, just fellowship around the OAHSPE Bible. Now, here's some other rooms too where you can go and you can have fellowship with brethren. Here's another one, Cosmin Teaching. Brother Omian's room. Let me see. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Cosmin Teaching. That's one room. And then the other room is, where is the other room? My computer, it just changes its mind whenever it wants to. This is the most interesting thing. Here's the other room. It's called the College University, OAHSPE College University. And these are, man, wow, man. I posted something, and I'm going to share it with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and share it with y'all. I posted something that could have easily been taken out of context. It could have easily been taken out of context. And nobody caught me on it except one brother. And it made me frown because of the lack of response in these rooms. The response ain't what I thought it was. I mean, I've only found out maybe because brethren are, I'm still kind of new to everything. Everything's just fresh, and I'm like a young puppy when it comes to the OAHSPE. And so, you know how it is. You get a young guy, he's all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, running around, chasing his tail, and all full of life and this and that. You get older, and, all that, it wears off a bit. You just kind of settle into your stride. And I think that that's what may be the case right now. And I don't look down on brethren. I just am, I thought it would be different, and a lot of activity, a lot of liveliness. And I think that brethren have been into this for so long that they just kind of have, as long as they just, if they get edified, that's all I really care about. But here's something I shared in my room. Brother said you posted something that could have been taken out of context. And so I took the opportunity to basically say to the room, that I don't know why more didn't catch that mistake that I made. And I assume that I like to share these things because I, perceive that the OAHSPE is as delicious to me, to you, as it is to me. And so I like to share these things. But when I make mistakes, and if, there's no, I would expect, somebody to catch these mistakes. One brother did catch it, but I expected more brethren. And there's never really been a lot of response in these rooms, which is kind of disappointing, but I guess it is. It is what it is, and I guess all you can do is just give thanks for the opportunity to try and make take your reality and to benefit, to redeem the time. And that's that. Excuse me. That's another that's another something that's the pull of now all of a sudden I got to start coughing. Could be this incense. Stuff really smells good. But I guess, let's check my messaging here real quick. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just learning. I'm just, thankful for the opportunity to try to take my reality and not just throw it away, give it to the world, temporariness, apathy, and just willing to be uh, oblivious to the Creator and the opportunity that He given us to redeem the time, that sort of thing. So here's a post that I shared that I wish brethren were more responsive, but I don't know what's going on with other brethren, and it's not up to me to. It's just up to one thing I've learned when it comes to the OAHSPE, the Creator. He just want you to run. You just run your race. I seem to learn that He just want you to just get to that point where you just keep going and just do whatever you can to help out. That's like the bottom line benefit right there. It's like, as soon as you get on that road and you stay on it, you are really home free, man. Don't really look at other brethren and, try not to stumble and because of the way you think things should be, but they're not. And best you can do is you just stay doing the best that you can. And, now let me see, here's something that I shared in from the book of Esther. I'm looking at the name of the video is JEHOVIH Said. Basically what I did is a word study and I put it in a PowerPoint presentation. So it should be pretty good. And I'm going to share some in my room. I'm going to be going over some of the verse. Well, wait a minute. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be going into the, I was getting ready to say I'm going to be sharing some of the verses that I'm going to be talking about later on, but I'm not going to be doing that. Here's some verses that I posted in my room that I want to share with you. But then I'm going to get to that one poem, man. That native poem. I think you brethren are going to really like it. Now, before I get to it, let's read this. It says, "For the rule applies to all men and all angels, that those who deny an all highest person in the Creator become establishers of idolatry to themselves," saying that that's the world we live in. There's only the Creator. Anything else is idolatry or deity worship to make it, and it's simple as that. Now, the Creator, He kind of plays a game of got you. Because once you admit that the Creator, and everybody will agree with you when you talk to them about the Creator, everybody's going to agree with you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know I say God, but I meant the Creator. And then that begs the next question. Well, if you subscribe to the Creator, you have to subscribe to His word. If you subscribe to the Creator, you got to subscribe to the words of the Creator. And that means the OAHSPE Bible. Now, it's not really a Bible, it's a practical guidebook, but you can hear His voice there. That means that you will not subscribe to the Bible. You won't subscribe to, the cataclysm or whatever the Catholics call that thing, the catechism or whatever, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, I mean, I'm sure that they have wisdom in those books. There's some wisdom you can learn. But the Creator, He condemns all of them if they point you to a being, someone that was born of a woman, and all of them do. They point you to someone that was born of a woman, and that is the main reason for this channel here, is if you want to be in the will of the Creator, it's all fine and good. All you got to do is just go about according to your highest understanding how you should treat people and do it. But don't bow the knee to anything that was born of a woman. That's the only thing. That's the simple message. That's all I ever talk about. That's all I ever talk about. Now, Let me show you this poem, man. Here it is right here. No, that's not it. Where is it at? Here it is right here. I think you're going to really like this, man. This is a poem from a Pueblo Indian prayer. And a chief wrote it. And I came across this by mistake. I can't say by mistake, but I came across it. Now, it was pretty powerful. Let me read it to you. It say, before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men. Now, see, when he says this right here, he's speaking sarcastically. He's like, you know how when some people, they say they're talking about somebody and they're categorizing like, but they said, or they're highlighting that the difference between them and the person they're talking about. In other words, they're picturing the person that they're talking about as problematic one way or another. That's what he's doing here. The person who wrote this, his name is down here, John Fire Lane Deer. He was of the Sioux Lakota tribe. He said, before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men. That's the tone of what he's saying here. It's like, to make us civilized men. See, they were already civilized. That's what this poem is about. But he's saying, see, our white brothers had to show us, see, as if we didn't already know, or as if we had to be changed. So he goes on, he says, before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men, he says, we didn't have any kind of prison. He says, because of this, we had no delinquents. Without a prison, there could be no delinquents. And then he says, we had no locks nor keys, and therefore among us, there were no thieves. So he's talking about the Pueblo Indian, I'll say at least, way of life. See, he's showing you a stark contrast between the way they lived and the American way. That's the point of this writing here. He's showing you the destruction they suffered at the hands of the white brothers when they came to this land and took it over. He said when someone was so poor that he couldn't afford a horse, a tent, or a blanket, he would in that case receive it all as a gift. He said we were too uncivilized to give great importance to private property. He said we didn't know any kind of money, and consequently the value of a human being was not determined by its wealth. Because see, in this day and age, you know how it is. The more money you got, the more important you are. The more esteem you have, the better life is for you. And it teaches you to look down on others. And he's saying that money does that. He says private property, important placing private property over people does that. He's saying that the ways of the white man, it taught them to look down, eventually to abandon these things, this way of life that they used to have it, and in the name of civilization, teach them to do things in a higher way. They call this a higher way. Having prisons, valuing property over people, having valuing a man based off of his dollar value. He said, we had no written laws laid down. We had no lawyers, no politicians. He's talking about the native way of life, man, before the white man came. He said, therefore, we were not able to cheat or swindle one another. See that? Look at that. He said we had no written laws laid down, no lawyers, no politicians. He said, therefore, we were not able to cheat and swindle one another. He said we were really in bad shape before the white. He's being sarcastic. We were really in bad shape before white men arrived. And I don't know how to explain how we were able to manage without these fundamental things that, so they tell us, are so necessary for a civilized society. So what he's doing, he's pointing you to their way of life. And he's saying to you, you judge. You judge what do you call civilization based on these two evidences? I mean, it's a terrible shame. It's a shame, man. That it is, it's a heavy indictment on the white man and his way of life. That's what he pointing you at. He ain't being a racist. He just simply telling, and eventually, the natives, they became probably even more violent than the white man towards their own and towards each other. Learning warfare and, just killing and, and eventually, I mean, even right now, you see that their living situation it's just the alcoholism and being placed in areas and reservations and so these are the people that the Creator, he really speaks highly of. He speaks highly of their spirit to just worship the Great Spirit. You see a real contrast here between European worship and Native worship, Native American. Now, there was another one that I shared that right here, the Great Spirit prayer. Now, I'm just sharing it. I mean, it's like Creator, he speaks of the natives and how he brought them here and he settled them here and in their ways. And so we can learn something. We can learn something by looking at these people. Let me take this message. Let me see. Oh, okay. Oh, you're watching? Okay, good. The sister's watching now. Let me put the link in the room. If you want, you can come on. We could talk about, I was basically earlier, I don't know if you heard the dialogue that I was talking about. She said she's here in the room. So let me put the link in the room. And if you click on that link, you can come on. I could bring you on to the video. If you have like a camera, it'll show you and we could talk. And if you have questions or even in the chat, if you have questions or anything you want to speak or want me to talk about, or when you click on that link right there, then it'll allow me to bring you on to bring you up on the video. So, but since you I don't know if you were busy before, I was basically, just to make a long story short, I was just trying to share with you that Jesus Christ, I don't worship him anymore. I don't worship the God of the Bible anymore. I come to find out that that the Bible itself is not the word of the Creator. And that if you are a worshiper of the Bible, the God of the Bible, then you will go into captivity. Now, I'm just making a long story short. I'm just hitting you with the bullet points. I talk about it all the time on video. That's the importance of the OAHSPE Bible. That's really the main thing. Brethren are able to hear it. Not everybody can hear it. Truly, the Creator has allowed religion to get a hold of us first. It was a brilliant thing in that the way the human mind, the way the human spirit works is they will grab people are a lot like ducks. a duck gets hatched, follows the first thing it sees moving. The duck, the duck, the duck. People are a lot like ducks. We have religion forced on us. The Bible is always there on the table, forced to go to church and, sit there. And it used to kill children to sit there and at least me, what I can remember growing up. And it was forced on us. And the Creator, He let it happen because He used it to let it show us that there was an afterlife. There was something that we should consider while we are in our reality. We should eventually get to the point where we ask questions like, what goes on after this? I mean, it's the ultimate natural question that everybody should ask. And so he let us be indoctrinated, and we were. And well, not everybody. From what I hear, some faithists, they were under such a strong anointing even when they were young that they didn't get sucked in. I got sucked in, and I did a lot of damage to myself in religion. Man, they laid a real good whooping on me. I mean, made me look like a fool, hurt me. They, I don't want to be, it's not like it saves a lot of people too, though. I will say that religion, they get involved in religion, man. They stop doing negative habits and they come up with a testimony. But the only problem again is that it's with religion, it's not where you start, but it's where you end up. That is thoroughly the problem. Bible, about, religion, Christianity, it's good, honorable growing up. That's what everybody said. But the Creator, He used it, and now He's finished with it. And He's telling brethren, now it's time for you to come, like it says in Revelation, come out from among her. And I happen to think He's talking about religion and the beast kingdom. He's saying, now come out from among her, so that you be not partaker of her sins. Remember Revelation 18, I think it is? Because the time has come for the kingdom of God to come on earth. You know what the sad thing is? We don't know the seriousness of the time we live in. We got no clue. I'm saying these things. I wouldn't expect anybody to listen to me, Nobody really, I don't expect anybody to, give any weight to what I'm saying. I really don't, Let me see. Dave says, Lakota are Plains natives. In contrast, Pueblo natives are in Arizona, New Mexico, Zuni, New Mexico, and Hopi, Arizona. I didn't know that, I think what you're saying is like Lakota are more Midwestern natives and Pueblo natives are more Southwestern. Is that what you're saying, Dave? I mean, I would think that they are all under the same type of spirituality, though. You know what I mean? Even though they have like different names, tribes, so on and so forth. I think that's one thing about the natives, that people, they look at their spirituality. They admire their spirituality. But let me see, get back to what I was saying real quick. I don't want to lose that thought. Religion, the Creator, He used it. And now He's doing something that's going to be hard on a lot of people to receive. And that is to come out of the beast. The Bible is profitable for wisdom to learn. It has good principles and, some righteousness, and people gravitate to it. And most people can't get away from it. Now, that's what the OAHSPE says. When you read the OAHSPE, it talks about people. It talks about they come into captivity to false gods. I remember the story of, who was it? Was it Ahura, or where he wanted to give up his slaves, and the slaves didn't want to leave him, and they wanted to follow him into, I don't know if it was hell, or I forget the story you brother know. And the slaves wanted to follow him. He had gotten exposed and they still wanted to follow him. And people are like that in this reality. A king, they live under a king all their life. And even if the king, like even in North Korea, there's that guy over there, that dictator over there, you know. Let's see, Dave says, yep, Lakota and South Dakota. However, remember the Upa Ego Queen and OAHSPE. I've heard of them, but I can't comment on them. The Upa Ego Queen. I've heard. I don't, I can't comment on them, Dave. But the let's see, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. People, they get attached. You know what I mean? People get attached to the old way, what they're used to, normalcy bias. That's what I was saying. Pluto, the cosmological event that's going on right now, Pluto going into Aquarius, and it was when you research it, I mean, we're talking about one of the biggest astronomical cosmological events of the last who knows how many years. And it's happening right now. And this is an event that happens only once every 249 years. We're going through it right now. At the same time, the Cosmic Era is upon us. The Creator, to make a long story short, is making a move. He's making a move. And he's making a move. We can read about it, and we can also see the witness of it in what's a good word for secular life outside of the OAHSPE. I mean, like what people know on a carnal level. We can look at, there's a witness there's a spiritual witness. How when Pluto goes into Aquarius and it's in, I don't want to get into it because I always talk about it. But we're in a spiritual event where it's going to be harder for some people to make the switch than it is other zodiac signs. It's going to be harder for some signs to make the switch to what the Creator is doing now. The Creator is saying that the Bible it leads you to deity worship. It leads you to idolatry. And the problem is slavery. Ultimately, you get led to slavery, where from what I could understand in the OAHSPE, it will be harder for you to break out of that slavery if you cross over, meaning you die under that mindset. And the OAHSPE, it gives you an account of someone who they are under religion and what happens to them. That's why the OAHSPE is so important. There are certain signs. It's going to be harder on you, man. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard on. Let me see. It's going to be hard on Leo. It's going to be hard on Scorpio. It's going to be hard on Aquarius, and it's going to be hard on. Let me see. There's 4 of them. I'm missing one. Those signs that are known as, let me see. Let me go on the internet and get my information. What are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac? It's going to be harder on these people. What the Creator is doing right now is going to be most hardest on these people right here. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, because these are people who just don't change. They just don't change, man. And the Creator is spiritual. And these people under these vibrations, they're used to things staying the way they always have been. But the creator, he don't stay the same. The creator is in motion. The creator is not stagnant. And that's why many people won't be able to move with him. Like I always talk about, I'll always remember the story of that girl. When I first heard about Pluto going into Aquarius, and I asked her, what do these things mean? I don't know what they mean. She said, people are going to have to be ready to move. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, she didn't even know. Now I know she was speaking of a spiritual event where it's going on right now. It's been going on for a while, ever since we got the revelation of the OAHSPE Bible, where the creator, like he's saying, many things about to change from doing this to start doing that, tells you to stop eating meat. Now, man, that's a tough one. Creator say he don't want his children to eat meat anymore. He wanted them to start eat herbs and plant food, that sort of thing. And there does seem to be a kind of movement that is gaining steam with the world turning to plant food. I know the World Health Organization just came out with something about moving away from animal meat or from fleshly meats, and it's almost as if the creator is telling them to make a change too, to make it easier for his children. He's commanding us to get away. Now that's a tough one, man. I mean, I admit, man, I admit I lust in my heart after sometimes after, I see images of Wiener Schnitzel dancing in my head and in my dreams. And man, I love that food, man. And, but I feel like I'm one of the fortunate ones where the creator, he's given me a strength to just walk away from it, And I don't put down anybody who's struggling. It's just that the creator says that if you eat meat, it will stunt your growth, your spiritual growth. I don't see how, but it's one of those things that's by faith. So this is one of the ways the creator, he's moving. He's moving, and I think that he's also going to expose, he's going to reveal, I remember I was talking to one dude, he said, oh, nope, because he got me started. And he says, so, somehow we got on that subject, And I said, well, did you know one of the things with OAHSPE Bible is he's saying that, he wants you to get away from eating meat. And the guy stopped me. He said, nope, I ain't never stopping doing that. He said, I love it too much. And God was just being honest with me, man, And like I said, I can't look down on him, There are things that the OAHSPE tell me to do that I know I don't do. I'm too weak. But I guess all you can do is just do what you can, So that's the way the creator's moving, and he's serious. He's showing that he can move in a way people don't see it. And it's hard for people to, get off of that normalcy bias, the way things have always been kind of attitude. All right. So time for the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to talk about. And basically what I did is I just went to the OAHSPE and I did a word study on verses that said, JEHOVIH said. JEHOVIH said. So it's I can do that right now. So let me get to that. Now the name of the video is called, let's see. It's called JEHOVIH said. I'm telling you, man, those PowerPoint presentations, they're a lot of fun. You know, they are a lot of fun. So let me go ahead and bring it up first before I put it on screen. You know, I think they're good for learning. You know, it seems like they add a visual element to it that helps your presentation. Let me see if I can bring it up. Um, okay, there we go. Boom. And look what do we got here? All right. Actually, you know what? This is for tomorrow's video. This is the presentation I'm gonna do tomorrow. It's called The World's People. I'm gonna do this presentation tomorrow. So let me find the one that I'm going to do today. Here it is right here. It's called The World's People, or no, JEHOVIH. That's going to be a good study tomorrow too. That's going to be, I'm looking forward to that one. The one that I'm going to do tomorrow called The World's People. So this video is just verses in the OAHSPE Bible about things that JEHOVIH said. Just verses that say JEHOVIH said in the verse. So it could lead us into many different directions. But let me see where the Spirit will lead me in doing this study, what it'll have me focus on. I don't know what it'll have me focus on. So let me do a little dance here so I can just use this screen. Okay, so may the Creator bless the reading of His Word. May the Creator bless the reading. May He bless His PowerPoint presentation, that brethren may be able to receive a blessing. So let me see. Now it's decided to give me a problem. So let me see if I can X that out. X that out and go to the video. And it still wants me to do the world's people. Dog, man. It just won't let me get off of the world's people. So let me see if I can exit out. Close that file. Okay. Now, am I showing what okay, I'm not showing anything. Let me go back and bring it up again. All right. So what am I doing wrong here? Hold on with me, brethren. It ain't going to be a problem like last time. So. All right, there we go. Let me see. Now, okay, yeah, I'm sharing it. Good. Now, if anybody can see this, can you type a 1? Can you see the presentation? Do I have the presentation up? The presentation, is it on the screen where you can read it good enough? Can you type 1 if you can see it good enough? I want to make sure that you can see it good enough before I start reading it. Can you type a 1 if I might not even have it up on the okay, it looks like it's on the screen. Now, if you can see it, good. Thanks, Mahalia. Thanks a lot. All right, so I can get started then. Thank you, Mahalia. Thanks, Dave. Thank you. All right, so here is PowerPoint presentation, and the name of the video is called simply JEHOVIH Said. JEHOVIH Said. And oh, Lisa, you were here. Oh man, you should have came. You could have clicked and came on, and we could have talked to each other. I didn't know if I thought that you were going to come on. It's good to see you, though. I'm sorry you have to go, but, I think that I hope that you talk to me about one of the things that I said. I hope I didn't come across wrong. You could talk to me because I don't know. I feel it's important to let you know where I stand with the God of the Bible and um, Christianity in general and religion in general. Yeah, get with me. Let me know what you think so we can talk. Okay, because we known each other for a long time and. I'm making the change. I've made a change, and I'm not sure if you know that I'm going, what direction I'm going in. But thanks for coming in, okay? I hope to talk to you later. See you. Okay, so the name of the video is called JEHOVIH Said. JEHOVIH Said. JEHOVIH Said. Now, I can make this a little bigger. Let's see if I can mess with the screen. And all right, now in the book of Shammai, the prophet of JEHOVIH said, "A time shall come when the earth shall travel in the roadway of the firmament." Okay, so the prophet of JEHOVIH said, "A time shall come when the earth shall travel in the roadway of the firmament. And so great a light will be present that the vortex of the earth shall burst like a whirlwind burst. And lo and behold, the whole earth shall be scattered and gone as if nothing had been." JEHOVIH said, "But before that time comes, my enduring host shall have redeemed man from sin." See the macro plan of the Creator? That's the whole macro plan right there. The earth cycle, the cyclical nature of the earth. The earth is here. It does its purpose, which is to be the birthplace of the spirit of his children who are meant to inherit his Adarian worlds. It serves his purpose. It runs out its cycle, and then it's done away with. In a nutshell, the Creator says, "But before that time comes, my Adarian host shall have redeemed man from sin." That's Euphrates. He says, "Nor shall the inhabitants of the earth marry for the time." Marry. Look at that. Tell the world that. They'll never believe that. There's a time coming where the inhabitants of the earth, the inhabitants of the earth. Let me see if I read this right. It says, "As if nothing. But the time comes, my enduring host shall have redeemed man from sin, nor shall the inhabitants of the earth marry." Okay. Try to tell the world that. There's coming a time, the OAHSPE Bible says there's coming a time when look at that. The inhabitants of the earth are going to stop marrying each other. Look at what the Creator said. He said, "For the time of begetting will come, it will be at an end." How do you like that? Can you believe the Creator is saying that? Tell people that. The Creator says the time of begetting will be at an end. Isn't the Japanese population falling dramatically? Has anybody heard that? It's falling rapidly. People are not marrying. Is it China or is it Japan? See, the Creator, he says, "My enduring host shall have redeemed man from sin, nor shall the inhabitants of the earth marry, for the time of begetting will be at an end. Even as certain species of animals have failed to propagate and have become extinct, so shall it be with man. The earth will have fulfilled its labor and its service. The earth will have fulfilled its labor, and its services will be no more under the sun. But the vortex of the sun shall be round in the body of the great serpent coiled up in the place where the earth was." Some of my far off worlds shall come and fulfill the labor allotted to them. And the atmospherians who have not been redeemed from darkness in that day shall alight on the new world and also fulfill their labor. How do you like that? Do you, brethren, see that? Did you read? Did you hear that? Do you see where the Creator, where he seems to say that when this earth is finished, another earth will replace it, and those who are now, I don't know, I can't be reading that right. I can't be seeing that the way I think I'm seeing it. Where he says that, and the atmospherians who had not been redeemed from darkness in that day. The atmosphere, aren't these spirits, aren't these angels that are in the atmosphere of the earth in the first resurrection, under maybe hell even in a knot? Aren't these not unredeemed atmospherians? Somebody let me know, man. Do I have it wrong? I mean, aren't atmospherians those who leave the earth and are not redeemed? Are they not who he is talking about here? He seems to say that they will alight. Look at this on the bottom there, bottom right. It says they shall alight on a new world. How do you like that? Am I reading that correctly? You brethren, am I reading that wrong? Am I misunderstanding something? He says the unredeemed, I'm using unredeemed for the atmospherians. Is he saying that they shall alight on the new world and also fulfill their labor? Is the Creator saying that that's the purpose for those who are unredeemed? You brethren, help me out. You let me know. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to move on, okay? We can get back to it if you want to. What do you say? Do the atmospherians come back on a new world? Is that what he's saying here? Let's go to the next slide. Now, again, these are verses where it's simply JEHOVIH said. JEHOVIH said from the OAHSPE Bible. JEHOVIH said. So here it says, I'm trying to make it so you can see it. I don't know if you can. It says, JEHOVIH said, let this day be the beginning of the reign of Cosman. Now, would he not be referring to that date that in 1860 or so when the OAHSPE came out? Or is he, let me see, I can't see the chat. I think Dave put something down there, so let me make it so I can see the chat. Oh, Dave said, yep, this is exactly what it means. How do you like that? What we were looking at here? Isn't that amazing? Is that not amazing, you brethren? Creator, he says that he's going to put the unredeemed. Isn't that something? He said, look here. Let me fatten the screen up a little bit. He said he's going to, look here on the lower bottom. The Creator said that he's going to put the unredeemed. See that right there? I'm sorry if I'm redundant, man. It's just these type of things, they blow my mind. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind, man. He's given us the answer to what's going to happen to unredeemed people. He said that those who have not been redeemed from darkness in that day, I have to think he's talking about the harvest of our time. The harvest. I know 2049 is the next harvest, but we don't know what may happen before then. We don't know. He said, and the atmospherians who have not been redeemed from darkness in that day shall, look at it, a light on the new world, and they have to fulfill their labor. How do you like that, man? I'm sorry. It just knocks me out, man. Let me see if I can keep it moving. Thanks, Dave. It says Jehovah said, let this day be the beginning of the reign of cosmic, the new era now upon us. For it is the beginning of the wisdom of earth joined with the wisdom of heaven. Now, we have talked about the Fox sisters. I mean, y'all remember the Fox sisters and the event that happened in Rochester, New York. They call it the Rochester Rappings. You can Google it if you want, and it'll talk to you about these three sisters who they were able to open the door, so to speak, to the spiritual realm. I mean, they were able to make spirits manifest themselves in a way that, like maybe, knock on wood or make some sound, and it sparked a movement in 1849, and people started thinking about spiritual realities. And the creator, it was his purpose to use that event to set man up for the OAHSPE Bible, which would go into depth and detail about where the Bible could not. It could not. The Bible had done its work. It had supplemented the Rochester wrappings in order to get people to believe a spiritual thing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. See how the creator's working. He sets man up to, he lays foundation, gets him to believe in spiritual things, and he starts giving a little more detail as he goes along. See, beauty of the creator. Now, remember, these are verses in different places of the OAHSPE, so it's not like a contextual study. It's just a word study, Jovi said, and it's all over the OAHSPE. So it's not like it's not like a dedicated study, Now here a verse that says, Te inquired. Now Te is man in his highest form, if I'm not mistaken. Te is man in his highest spiritual form. And he's inquiring of Jehovah. He's wanting to know about the realities of life. Here he says, what can man do with babies? So it's without context. I realize that. And, but I think we can get enough out of the verse to get some learning out of it. It says, Te inquire, what can man do with babies? So obviously, the creator has talked to Te about taking the plan for taking care of infants and you starting with them instead of starting with adults. Te inquired, what can a man do with babies? How shall I feed them? Moreover, I do not have money to hire nurses. And Jehovah said, have faith in your creator and a good work done for my little ones. Behold, I will provide. I will provide. Okay. Jehovah said, sun and earth light, or that was the name of the caption in the OAHSPE Bible. It said, Jehovah said, in times past, man beheld the sun, saying, the sun is the creator of all the living. Light and heat come from the sun. Then Jehovah said, I will put a sign in the firmament, and no man shall deny the work of my hand. And above the earth, to the north and south, he placed polar lights, so that man could bear witness that light did not depend on corporea and had no part in it. But he placed the sun in the midst of the great vortex, so that every side was like a pole to the corporeal worlds around it. Jehovah made Etheria as a condensing lens. That's like a convex lens, curved, glass-looking, dish-shaped type of object. Jehovah made Etheria as a condensing lens, so that the rotation of each and every corporeal world will manufacture its own light on the side poling to the sun by the rotation of its warp and vortex. And man saw the atmosphere turn the earth, and that the earth did not turn atmosphere. Oh, I can't comment there. You have to go to Cosmic Cal to get the overstanding on this. I don't even want to try to confuse you. I'm just showing what JEHOVIH said in these verses. But it sounds like the Creator that he wants to show, he wants to clear up confusion about the sun. People saying the sun is the creator of all living light, and he comes from the sun. It seems like creator is saying he knows that is what man is going to say. So in order to dispel that, it says he's going to put a sign in the firmament, and nobody will be able to deny it, to keep man from accrediting the glory that belongs to the creator to the son, is what it sounds like he's saying here. Because, man, he's got a penchant. He's got a, what's a good word for? He has a penchant. Yeah, I guess that's the best word for assigning the glory that only really belongs to the creator to something other than the creator. And so the creator has to do things to show him, nope, that's not what you say it is. Nope, you're worshiping that, but you're not worshiping the right thing. You're looking at the wrong thing. So JEHOVIH says, I will put a sign in the firmament, no man shall deny the work of my hand, and above the earth to the north and south, he placed polar lights. Okay, so I probably could go on the internet to find out, I don't want to do it right now. I'll get bogged down. So just to summarize this verse, and then it talks about he placed the sun in the midst of the great vortex. So a great spinning, and the sun's in the middle there, so that every side was like a pole to the corporeal worlds around it. So the motion of the sun, how you stir something and it creates like a little funnel, same way with the vortex, and places the sun in its midst. So that's about the best I can comment on that. Okay. So it says in the book of knowledge, it says, JEHOVIH said, hear me, O Te, for I speak through all members of my family. Es, which is spirit, Cosmin, which is knowledge, corporal, which is physicality, etc. And I will declare myself to all my nations and peoples under the sun. Nor shall there be any more gods, lords, saviors on my footstool, like we were saying earlier. Creator is saying we're in a new time right now, and we see that the world is not going to be able to, at least in my own personal experience and my reality, to talk about the Bible is not the word of the creator. Good luck, man. Good luck with that. I mean, I always try to soften the blow by saying that it's profitable for wisdom. I'm just saying the only thing that's problematic about it is where it's going to lead you. If you subscribe to it, it's going to lead you. You're going to get led. You know what? I know in my heart, the creator, he's going to use my videos. I mean, really for any brother who is speaking up about what the creators do. I know that their works are going to get exposed. I know that these videos that he's going to use, not just mine, but any brother who's laboring in that way. I know in my heart, it's going to come back, Creator's going to use these videos to come back and to show man, to show him all over again. See the brother, and I'm not just talking about myself, but all you brethren, they were a long time ago. I was working amongst your number a long time ago, and you didn't even know it. I was raising up my people a long time ago, and you didn't even know it. I was raising up my people a long time ago, and you never even knew it. They were talking about this a long time ago. I will declare myself to all nations and peoples under the sun. Nor shall there any more be gods, lords, or gods, or saviors on my footstool. And it's a terrible shame because right now there's no sensitivity to what's going on now. There ain't none. Or at least that I could see. Now, let me see. I don't think I can make the lettering bigger. It says, JEHOVIH said, gotta make the lettering a little smaller. There we go. JEHOVIH said, in the Ark of Cosmos, this is an illustration in the OAHSPE Bible. It's a caption in the OAHSPE Bible. And it's under a pictograph, I think. When you look at the OAHSPE Bible, it says showing the earth in the 32nd year of the cosmic era. Joey said, when the world approaches Danha and Sevilla, I don't know what that means. When the world approaches Danha and Sevilla, the nations shall be quickened with new light, where cosmic comes out of the midst of my Ethereal hosts. And my Ethereal hosts shall press upon the understanding of man and woman, and they shall fill all the nations and kingdoms with new discoveries, inventions, books of learning, and men shall be conceited concerning themselves above all the ages past. And they shall deny me and quarrel my name, cast me out. But I will come upon them as Father in love and mercy. My hosts of heaven shall cause babes and fools to confound the wise by signs and miracles. How do you like that? So I don't know if that has started happening yet. When I think of like signs and miracles, it's like a brother walking down the street healing somebody, or going into the middle of the city where everybody can see him and he heals somebody. And then when that type of thing happens, that will spread like wildfire. That sort of thing will spread like wildfire, man. You know, that witness, that will spread like wildfire. And so for that reason, I say that I don't think that this witness has happened yet. It's got to be imminent, because it seems like the time that we are in, it seems like we just can't go on like this, the way with the fighting and the conflagrations in the world. And I know you, brother, don't keep up with it as much as I do, but I may give a little blurb at the end of the video, talk about it, let you know. But we can't go on like this. We just cannot go on like this. And so it seems like the Creator is just setting us up for a great explosion where these things will happen. And brethren who have been able to labor, who have been able to endure this reality, who have been able to believe and attain to his voice, are the brethren who he's going to come upon. Just like in Acts chapter 2, when the Holy Spirit fell on them, whether that was a true account or not, I do not know. But there is a principle, a spiritual principle there that harmonizes with the OAHSPE Bible, and that it talks about power coming from on high to certain brethren, so that they could have a witness in addition to their testimony about the Creator, because the world needs to see a witness. They won't just believe your word. See, he says here again, he says, men, he says that they shall fill all nations, and talking about the cosmic era and what faiths are going to be able to do. And it says that men shall be conceited. Man is conceited concerning himself. He's conceited, man. Remember yesterday I was talking about Deion Sanders and I made a mistake. I said he could run 100 yards in 4 seconds. I should have said the 40-yard dash. That's one of the when athletes are ready to get drafted and go into the pros, they make them run to see how fast they can run. And there's something called a 40-yard dash. And the average man will be able to run it in like 5-6 seconds. And I was talking about Deion Sanders and how he could run it in like 4 seconds, 40 yards. And I was pointing to the Creator as what will happen when a man gets when you just give man a little bit of glory, when you give him a little bit of spiritual power, and I consider athletics to be a form of spiritual power for people who can perform at the highest level. They have a form of spirituality, a form of power about them. You may not agree, but I don't think that they can give themselves that type of power. And you have to have the natural ability first. I think that comes from the Creator. So anyway, you give man a little bit. If you give him a little bit, just a tiny bit, man, he goes and he tells the whole world. Is that not the way a man is? He has to he got a little crumb of talent. Now he's got to let the whole world know. That's why the Creator, he says here, man shall be conceited. He'll be conceited, man. He's conceited. Especially in our time now. Look what he says here. Above all ages past. And they shall deny me. And they're going to quarrel about my name. And they're going to cast me out. But the Creator, his way is, I'm going to come upon you as a father in love and mercy. My host of heaven shall cause babes and fools to confound the wise. By signs and miracles, my host from heaven shall cause, look at that, chairs to speak. How do you like that? My host from heaven shall cause chairs to speak and inanimate things to walk and dance. How do you like that? You go into the middle of the street, you go into the middle of downtown, you go down the Fisherman's Wharf, man. Get you a big old sign. And on the sign, you just put, at 12 noon, I'm going to perform a miracle that will spread like wildfire across the world. Just put up that sign. And I guarantee you that I know where Fisherman's Wharf is. I go down there all the time. It's world famous. It's a tourist spot. If you want an explosion to happen, you just go right down there. You're going to do this sign. You're going to take a chair with you. You're going to tell it to walk and dance at 12 o'clock. And that news it will take 3 seconds to become worldwide news. The Creator said that's what he's going to do. He said men need to see that. They won't believe unless they see something like that. How do you like that, man? He said, I'm going to make. He said, matter of fact, he said the Ethereum's going to do it. It sounded like he said he's going to make the Ethereum's going to come and do it. He said he's going to make inanimate things to walk and dance. He said the dead shall reappear to the living, talking with them face to face, eating and drinking and proving themselves to the children of the earth. And so make my kingdoms known. Yes, they shall encompass the whole earth with signs and wonders and reduce to nothing the men and the idolatries of the ancients. He said, for both the living and the dead to know that I, JEHOVIH, live and reign over heaven and earth. This shall be a new era, and it shall be called cosmic, and it embraces the present and all the past. then I will reveal myself to those who deny. I will reveal myself. I will reveal myself, and those who deny me shall accept me. Of their own accord, they will put away their lords, gods, and saviors, nor shall they have idols of me any more, neither on earth or in heaven, for I am sufficient for all. If that ain't good news, man, I don't know what is. Really, truly. Now, another verse. JEHOVIH said, Tay's prayer, JEHOVIH said, I gave a corporal body to man so that he could learn corporal things, but I made death so that he could rise in spirit as an angel and inhabit by enduring worlds. But see, we don't want that. It don't sound good enough. We can't see it. We can't feel it. That's the way it is now in this reality. Walk by faith is too hard for most people. JEHOVIH said to the angels who were with man, behold, man has multiplied on the earth, bring them together to teach them to dwell in cities and nations. See that even till today. Creator said he taught man to do that. JEHOVIH said, by virtue of my presence, I created the seen and unseen worlds. I commanded man to name them, and man called the seen worlds corporal and unseen worlds spirit. And the inhabitants of corporal man he called corporeans, but the inhabitants of spiritual, he called them essenes, and sometimes spirits and sometimes angels. JEHOVIH said, but those who had never learned corporal things, being imperfect in wisdom, did not understand JEHOVIH's words. And they dealt the Assyrians and were tempted. Now, this sounds historical, not our day and age. Sounds historical. That's the problem with doing verse studies like this. Is I'm not giving you the context when you're doing like a word study like this. I'm going through basically verses where it has the words JEHOVIH said. And so there are verses where the context would be very helpful, would be very useful, but I'm banking on you being able to get some understanding out of even when we do like standalone verses, where it's just one single verse and it's not going into the context. He says, but those who had never learned corporal things, being imperfect in wisdom, did not understand JEHOVIH's words, and they dwelt with the Assyrians and were tempted and partook of the fruit of the tree of life. And lo and behold, they saw their own nakedness, and there was born of the first race Asu, a new race called man. And JEHOVIH took the earth, and out of the travail of Simu, and angels gave up their corporeal bodies, because you have raised up those who shall be joint heirs in heaven. You shall tread the earth with your feet, and walk by the sides of the newborn, being guardian angels over them, for they are of your own flesh. Again, so it sounds like the angels, they came down, they made it with humans, and the new race was born. They gave up their it seems to be talking about the Ethereans or whoever, the gods that came down. They made it with humans. They did not have corporeal understanding, and they were charged with, now that they have given birth to a new race of men, then they gave up their corporality, and they had to watch after the men that they had procreated with. It says they partook of the fruit of the tree of life, and it sounds like sex. Angels came down, had sex with men, a new race was born. The Creator, he charges them now with raising them up. And he mentioned Simu, and if I'm not mistaken, Simu, time of creation, I think, of the animals, wasn't it? The animal kingdom. Let me see. I know, Dave, I'm looking back. See, we talking about the one thing too, man, we talking about things that we ain't gonna see. It's just like the Creator said. We read in the libraries of heaven, man. That's the difference between what the faithists are, faithists, and the world. We can't talk to nobody about this stuff. What is Simu? What happened? Well, I think a lot of people know about the fallen angels, and they call them hybrids and whatever names, and mating with the women, sons of God saw the women, the children of men, and they were, I think they know that part of creation, but things like what we talked about earlier, the cyclical nature of the earth, the dissolution of, the propagation of the earth, the raising up of spirit, sons and daughters, the ending of marriage and procreation, and the ending and dissolution of the earth, and those who were not, basically didn't make the harvest, coming and alighting again, it says, on these other worlds or earths or whatever you want to call them. And to me, that explains, like, you hear people say in the world, where did Adam get his wife from? And then you come to find out there were thousands of people. They weren't just the original first man and woman. They were thousands of people. So Creator here, he kind of explains what's going to happen when then another earth replaces this one. He says that those who didn't, so quote unquote, make it from the previous earth go to this one, and they fulfill their labor, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we ain't going to read that in the Bible. A Bible can only take me so far. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative and down on it. I'm just saying it is what it is. It says, JEHOVIH said, the end of the Samoan age, that is the time of termination of creating animal life. JEHOVIH said, behold, I quicken the earth with living creatures. By my breath came forth, share the screen more here. By my breath came forth all the living on the face of the earth, and its waters, and in the air, and above the earth. And I took the earth out of dark regions, and brought her into the light of my ethereal worlds. And I commanded the living to bring forth by cohabitation every species after its own kind. And man was more dumb and helpless than any other living creature. JEHOVIH spoke to the angels that dwelt in this ethereal world, saying, behold, I have created a new world, like the places where you were quickened into life. Come and enjoy it, and raise man upright. Give him words of speech, for these shall also be angels in times to come. And JEHOVIH said, let a sign be given to the inhabitants of the earth, so they may comprehend Danha, the firmament of heaven. For even as I bequeath to the earth a time for creating a living, and a time for angels to come and partake of the first fruits of mortality and immortality, so shall man at certain times and seasons receive testimony from my host in heaven. And that's where we are right now. Hosts receiving testimony. I know there are brethren that are receiving testimonies from angels. We hear about brethren able to astrally project and to go into the atmosphere. I don't think that is I haven't had such testimony and angel visitations and these type of things. I believe they will happen though. I believe that it's soon to come to pass. JEHOVIH said, and when it shall come to pass in any other times of Danha that these signs manifest, man shall know that the host of the Most High come soon after. Let him who will become wise enumerate the great lights of my serpent, for in such times I set aside things that are old and establish my chosen anew. I think he's talking about the Danhas, the enlightenment. Now, whether those are now he makes a statement here, the great lights of the serpent, and I can't say exactly what the great lights of the serpent is, but I like where he says that he sets aside the old and establish my chosen anew. Now, I read that, I automatically think of religion, how it's getting set aside. It's being exposed, being set aside. It served its purpose. It gave man a wonder about spiritual things. The children, they were able to benefit off of it, and that was like the way the Creator, He held us until it came time for Cosmin, when He would give us knowledge. We would know the beast kingdom. We would be able to mature and elevate in our spirit through the things that we've learned. And in that way, He's going to separate. He's going to bring brides and bridegrooms out of the earth. That was the purpose of the earth, to raise up brides and bridegrooms. That was the whole purpose of the earth. Now, in the book of JEHOVIH, it says, God shall cause a record to be kept in heaven of His dominions and those of His lords, and they shall enjoin it upon their successors forever to keep a like record. Now, again, this is jumping in the middle, is leaving out a lot. These are not in context of verses I'm showing you. It's just that these are more like a word study. And so I share them because we can get something out of them. And here he says that he talks about a record, records, and we each have a record. Remember, we cross over the Ashar. He takes our record, he gives it to the ASAPs. Just thought that was interesting. It says, JEHOVIH said, behold, we have come from distant heavens by the voice of JEHOVIH. We came to partake of the glory of the red star, the earth. JEHOVIH said to us, come and enjoy the new world I've created. Partake of all its fruits except the tree of knowledge. Don't have sex with the inhabitants. The tree of knowledge, don't partake of that. Everything else, go for it. He said, partake of all its fruits except the tree of knowledge. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the tree of life and the tree of knowledge may be different. He says, partake of all its fruits except of the tree of knowledge, which is the fountain of life. Do not partake of this lest you die. So it could be tree of knowledge, tree of life, similar to one another. Creator said, don't partake of the tree of knowledge. He said, that's the fountain of life. That sounds like sex to me. Do not partake of it lest you die. I could be wrong. That's what comes to my mind. JEHOVIH said, from the trees, fruits, flowers, grains, seeds, and roots that grow in the ground, I have created a ceaseless harvest going upward to the atmosphere, which shall be the sustenance of the spirits of men newborn in heaven. But whoever feasts on flesh on earth shall not find spiritual food in heaven, but he shall return to the butcheries, eating houses where flesh is eaten. And before it is rotten, he shall feast on this atmospheric part. Place a guard, therefore, over the newborn, lest they engraft themselves on mortals, feasting on their feast and go down to destruction. So how do you like that? The Creator telling us something that we'll never know. We read, we subscribe, we're Bible only. About what happens to spirits. They cross over and they still have the ability to enjoy the things of the earth, and not only have the ability, but they prefer the things. They prefer the things like food. There's an atmospheric part to food. They come back, they feast on that. A guard has to be placed around them so that eventually that they will wean themselves of that part of the spirituality of the earth, and they can start to ascend. Second, third, make the resurrections. Atmospheric part. There's an atmospheric part to food. The beetles, the young spirits, they can come back and feast on that. They can. There's a substance to food. It has an atmospheric part. And they come back and they feast on that, and it's like just as if they were in their corporeal body. Again, JEHOVIH said, as fast as you can, appropriate the labor of earthborn spirits to help in the resurrection of others. You shall do so in my name. So I basically just shared this to show that the will of the Creator is to help. Brethren help themselves, to help each one to help others to resurrect, to ascend. Now, this is an account where I think Siddhanti is talking to a God, and or JEHOVIH is talking to Siddhanti, and he is telling him about a situation and what to do. And the situation involves distributing the labor of earthborn spirits, telling them, in other words, what to do to help others for their resurrection, like a distribution system, a system for helping brethren to elevate. Then JEHOVIH said, at no time did I bring man newborn into the world without a mother and a nurse and rich nourishment to feed him. Yes, I gave him angels to inspire him and lift him up, and I provided a Lord of the earth to manage his kingdoms and nations, and a God in heaven with the throne and judgment seat, so that man and the angel world would be provided and wisely instructed in soul to comprehend the glory and harmony of my worlds. And that's true. I mean, for the most part, everybody is provided for. We come into this reality and we're provided for, mother, father, raised up, family, food. Same way in the spiritual. And I provided a Lord of the earth to manage his kingdoms and nations, and a God in heaven with the throne and judgment seat, so that man in the angel world be provided and wisely instructed in soul to comprehend the glory and harmony of my worlds. Again, JEHOVIH said, what man has fulfilled his time in the lower heaven? When man has fulfilled his time in the lower heaven, I prepare him by ample teachers for a higher resurrection. As brides and bridegrooms, my hosts adorn them. I come in a sea of fire. First man was wedded to the earth. By me solemnized. Or I think a good translation for that is he was, what's a good word for solemn? I think it's like made holy or anything. Let me see. What is a synonym for the word solemnized?
Here are some synonyms for solemnize: perform, celebrate, ceremonialize, formalize.
Okay, formalize, ceremonialize. So by me, I celebrated, I formalized, I authorized, and without man's knowledge. Then to the lower heaven he was wed, laboring with spirits and mortals. So it's like Creator is telling us that he set man, he was, first man was wedded to the earth, and he was authorized, or is that, let me see, he was celebrated. He was, I guess another word is deputized. He was made holy, solemnized, and it was without his knowledge. then to the lower heaven he was wed, laboring with spirits and mortals. So that's us right now in that condition. We labor with spirits and with mortals for our own ascension. It's like the Creator in a nutshell. All right, and that means the end of this presentation. JEHOVIH said that will end this presentation of JEHOVIH said. Basically, a compilation of verses where, and speaking on different subject matter and what's a good word for the agenda that the Creator he has for each of us, his will and purpose for each of us. Different verses throughout the OAHSPE. Tomorrow is going to be another great study. I'm going to do a study on the world's people from the OAHSPE Bible. Oh, brethren, I think that'll be it for that study. I'm going to put this link in the room, and you brethren, if anybody wants to come on, you can come on and share anything that comes that's on your heart, on your mind. You can come on and share. Put the link in the room. I tell you, man, I love that part, man. I love that part about the atmospherians, the way he just tell you, Creator just tell you that he said that, I can't get over it, man. He said that the people who basically don't make it. Did y'all hear that, man? He said the people that don't make it, they alight on another world. See? Did he not say that? That explains what the Bible can't see. The Bible, it gives you the like when people ask about where did Adam get his wife from, or where did Cain get his wife from, or something like that. That's a famous question. Where did Cain get his wife? Something like that. But there were thousands, who knows how many numbers of people were on the earth. You see the same thing? You see the cycle repeats itself. We going through our time now. You brides and bridegrooms, we on the earth, we going through our time right now, right? And then the earth finishes its cycle, and then it dissolves, and then another earth takes its place, and it gets populated with people who say maybe didn't make this cycle, didn't make this, it gets populated with atmospherians who didn't make the other cycle. You see how everything gets explained? I mean, I just think it's out of sight, man. The Creator, he just explains everything, man. Now we can talk to people. We can tell them what, if they really want to know, talk to them, tell them what it's all about. You want to make this resurrection where you go after you leave your reality, and and provide some comfort. I just think it's incredible, man. Then we read the Pueblo, that Pueblo prayer where it was bittersweet. It was kind of bittersweet because he got down on our white brethren and basically talking about the natives and how they basically had their own thing going. And then the white man came over and he brought his ways and his morals and his principles with him. And then that signaled the downturn, that signaled the decline of the civilization that we know is the Western Hemisphere. Why it has to be that way, I don't know. It's this terrible thing, man. I posted something. I want to share something real quick before I close the video. Here's something that we learned in the Bible study yesterday, and I posted it in the room so I can make a note of it. I thought it was interesting, man, and it sounded like the kingdom of God to me. So, matter of fact, here it is right here. I don't know if you can even see it, so let me Let me make it so you can see it, because I don't think you can. And we were in the Bible study, and the brother brought this out. I thought it was interesting. So a little something about Native American history. Thank you, Mahalia. Thank you. If you were blessed, then I certainly was blessed. If you were blessed, then I rejoice. I give thanks. Praise the Creator, man. That's what it's all about. So let me show this real quick. I think y'all gonna like this. The brother, he brought it out. Let's see. Let me stop that. Let me do it all over again. And let me show you. Okay. Now, share that. Bada bing, bada boom. And here it is right here. And here it's not. What happened to it? Oh, here it is right here. All right. Now the teacher, he made a comment talking about Native culture. And you got to see the kingdom of God in this, And it's like attracts like. I just thought it was interesting. So I made a note of it, posted it in the room so I wouldn't forget it. He said, if the natives, now I don't know how much this was practiced in the natives' traditions, but it says if the natives did not like the ways of the chief over them, they would simply pack up and go to another chief who was more to their liking. That's what he said. I made it a point to put the statement down so I could share it with y'all, and that sound like the kingdom to me, man. And I think that the Creator, He'll match you with what you like. Type of people you like. Remember that verse we read where it said, Creator said to imagine this, and what type of people do you want there? He said, just make sure you make yourself fit the ideal people that you want there. You make sure you fit yourself to be that way too. And it sounded like the kingdom to me, man. That we go to ourselves. We go to people like us. People same likes, same mindset, and laugh at stupid jokes that you laugh at, and oh, he did he beat me? He had to get that last lick in. Dave had to do it, man. But I wasn't looking at the screen though, so I might have beat you. Because I did not take that long, brother. I don't know if I can hand you that, brother. I don't know if I can hand you that, brother. I don't know, because I wasn't looking at the screen, man. So I don't think I can get you credit for that. I'm sorry, brother. That was a nice try, though. That was a nice try, brother. But I don't think you took that one. I don't think you took it. So anyway, that's the best I could do, man. Let me get out of here for Dave. He kicked my butt. So Friday, let me see. Wow, how come this don't want to leave? This thing just don't want to leave the screen, the emojis. They just keep popping up. Oh, what's up with these things? I got these emojis that keep popping up. I better just do something to it then and make it go away. There you go. All right. So shoot, man, that's it for this Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be I got another one put together on, it's going to be called The World's People. So it's more of a detail. It's more of a focused study on, we're just going to take a look at what the Creator got to say about the world's people, primarily so that we can learn the lesson. And the situation, I said I was going to share a little bit before I close the video. And it's a terrible thing, man. We really just sitting here waiting on bombs to start flying. I hate to say that. but I'm telling you the truth. We in a situation that's very perilous. I won't even go into it, man. I just leave it be and pray to the Creator. He just covers, man, with wisdom, knowledge, and just endurance, with patience, with encouragement. And brethren, I thank you for joining me, and thank the Creator. And join me tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And Creator willing, man, I'll see you, brethren, again tomorrow. Until then, peace be unto you. Shalom.